Good Wednesday morning, friends, or afternoon, or whenever you happen to join together for this time where we pause together and reflect on our faith. For those that I might not know, I'm Reverend Jennifer Finley, our Momentum and Discipleship Pastor here at First United Methodist Church in Kirksville. And at least here in Kirksville, it is a sunny but cold end of November morning. And as you can see, our worship spaces and our hallways here in our church building, at least, are beginning to look like our Advent and Christmas seasons as we prepare our outward spaces for that season. And as we prepare our outward spaces for Advent and Christmas, we also do that with our interior spaces. And that's one reason I love this opportunity every single week to sit down with you, to take a deep breath and to ask and wonder together how we're seeing God at work in the world. I don't know where you are, but I still have my hot cup of coffee in my hand, and because it's a little chilly, I hesitate to even put it down, but I'm going to as we talk together. For this is our time to pause and to wonder together about what God is up to in our lives and in the world. And we have started our season of Advent, our preparation time for Christmas. And if you're anything like me, there is also a swirl of Christmas things happening as music happens and gatherings happen, some of those that haven't happened since Christmas of 19. And it's a joyful, wonderful, beautiful time, and also a busy time. And so I cherish this time to simply pause together with you. And we ask ourselves a question every single week, usually some form of, what is God up to? How are you sensing God at work? Where are you seeing God at work? This week, our question is just a little bit different. It's, what is giving you hope? What is giving you hope? We ask that question as part of our worship on Sunday here and online as we began our Advent season. What is giving you hope in this season, this year? And as I pondered that question for myself, I'll admit that I wished an answer had come readily to mind, that one that would just spring out of my lips, and it didn't. And I had to sit with that and ponder that for a while. Now, your answer, what is giving you hope, might be something deeply serious. It also might be something less so. What is giving me hope? Well, this morning, a hot, steaming cup of coffee that I can hold in my hands is giving me hope. Sometimes hope tastes and smells like coffee, at least in my world. So for you, it might be something seemingly simple like that. It might be time with friends or family. Or it might be something like this, because as I sat and pondered my question, my answer to this question, what is giving me hope? I thought about this, the simple board behind me. This is our gathering space here at First Church. And on this simple bulletin board, we simply have a little label that says, what is giving you hope? And we've invited folks, you included, to help us create that together, to add to this your answer on a note card, on a sticky note. What is giving you hope? We've got note cards here, and if you're physically in the building at some point during this Advent season, you're invited to do that. If you're here on worship on Sunday mornings, we have those note cards in the pews as well. Or if you aren't physically here for whatever reason and would like to help create with us, create an image of hope, we invite you to just make a note. Feel free to put it in the comments here, and I can write it down and put it up here, or you can mail us something. It does not have to be on any kind of particular piece of paper, because what is giving me hope is creating together with you. That is what I love. That is something that gives me hope for the world, is our ability to create together, to see God together, to see hope in a world together. For you see, sometimes we need somebody else to help us see where there is hope, because there are times in our lives where we might not see it for ourselves, but we can certainly see it for somebody else. So as I read a few of these that were up after Sunday, that gave me great hope and great joy. We're going to add to this every single week. So this week, it's what is giving us hope. And then next week, we'll be asking what is giving us peace? Where are we finding peace? We'll just keep adding so that those will all mingle together, and that will be good and beautiful. But friends, that is one of the things. This ability to create together with you and to create together with God, that gives me hope for the world, especially when all the things in the world that swirl, that sometimes make us despair about what is happening in our world. It's these things, friends, that sometimes help us see, yeah, there's hope in the world. God is present and at work as we create together. So that is one of mine. But that question, what is giving you hope, might not ring as true for you. And so I also ran across another way to phrase this question. In our Advent devotional or Advent study on Sunday morning, the author of the book that we're using asked it this way: where in your body do you feel hope? I had to sit with that one for a while. I wasn't sure, but she gave a prompt and she said, some people when they feel hope, they feel it in their hearts or their chests. What others, maybe they feel it in their guts. Others, maybe if you're somebody that is used to thinking and that's how you feel, maybe you feel it in your mind. I got to wondering about people feeling hope in their fingers. I am not a musician, but I know there are several musicians around me, and I want to ask them, do you feel hope in your fingers when you play the piano or you play your instruments? Or those who are vocalists, where do you feel hope in your body when you are singing? So perhaps that way of phrasing the question helps you hear it in a slightly different way. Where do you feel hope in your body? For me, it's often that moment when I'm sitting and I feel my shoulders relax and move down, and I feel my chest open up, and I feel it right here. So maybe those two questions this week. Where are you finding hope, or how are you feeling hope in your body and your spirit? And then if you'd like to, help create hope with me and come fill our bulletin board with answers to those questions. Because hope is indeed part of who we are as Christians. I want to end with a couple of prayers I ran across. Prayers that give us a sense of the ways in which hope works in our lives, the ways in which God works in our lives. These are daily prayers. It's a book I've come back to. It's not a particularly Christmas or Advent book, but there were two that caught my attention. This is from Luke. But the angel said to them, "Do not be afraid, for see, I am bringing you good news of great joy for all people. God of fear, God of the night, God of expectation, you visited shepherds in the night with songs of sights of joy. In all of our nights, turn us towards hope, because hope might just keep us alive." I love that. Turn us towards hope, because hope might just keep us alive. And then this one from Luke. By the tender mercy of our God, the dawn from on high will break upon us to give light to those who sit in the darkness, the shadow of death, to guide our feet into the way of peace. God of promises, sometimes we wait generations for the dawn from on high, sometimes only years. We wait for justice and hope and light and kindness to mingle in the tangle of our days, and we age while we hope. So may we age and hope with tenderness and truth, because you are tender and true, even though we sometimes wonder. I loved that affirmation, friends. We wait for justice and hope and light and kindness to mingle into the tangle of our days. And while we age, we hope. So may we age and hope with tenderness and truth, because you, O God, are tender and true. Friends, our God is tender and true and is cultivating hope within us, even now, especially now. So wherever you are today, I hope and pray you find something that brings you hope, and hope that you share that with me, with us as a community. Go in peace, my friends.